Hey guys, it's Kelly with Sevens Emporium, and I'm going to do a quick little video this morning on machine maintenance. I'm going to be using my trusty makeup brush set that I have. I'm going to be using my offset screwdriver. This is very, very handy. I'm going to be using this cool little set of vacuum cleaner attachments that I got on Amazon, and I'm also going to be using my machine oil. If you don't have an offset screwdriver like this one, you can use this little screwdriver that comes with your machine, and this is short because it's able to get right up under there and tighten and loosen those screws. Maintenance is one of those things that we're often tempted to overlook because we're in a hurry and we just want to put out more product, but when you open this little door here and you have this whole little wad of threads in there, that's really bad for your machine, and it's important to clean those out. The first thing we're going to do is take out the bobbin case. And the next thing we're going to do is, using our offset screwdriver, we're going to take out these two screws on the top of the throat plate. After the screws have been removed, you can then pop off this throat plate. I promise you're not going to mess anything up as long as you don't do anything crazy monkeying around in here. But it's important to take this off and clean underneath this because it gets lint and junk in there. And you're also going to have little threads that get hung in your thread trimmers. And these are your thread trimmers. These are sharp. Be careful when you're in there. But you're going to need to clean out this area as well. The first thing that you're going to need to do is get your little vacuum cleaner attachment out. And you're going to want to put this part into the little hose. And it's going to be kind of a tight fit. Just kind of work it in there. And then depending on what type of vacuum hose end you have, you might also need to use this little attachment. And this goes into here and it will fit. It's kind of a reducer and it'll fit into your vacuum hose. So you put that on there, and then on the other end of the hose where it has this little black tip, you're going to put whatever little attachment. It has a whole set of brushes. You're going to put that in there, and that's how you do that. And you hook that up to your vacuum, turn it on, and vacuum out all the crud that's in around here. This has some little holes in the end of it, so it reduces the airflow from your vacuum, so it's going to make it a gentler way to vacuum this out so that you don't maybe mess anything up. If you don't have one of the cool little vacuum cleaner attachment things, what you can do, and this is what I did before I got mine, I use the vacuum and I kind of hold it under this area, and I take a small makeup brush and I would go in there and just kind of brush that all out. And I'm actually, even though I have used my vacuum cleaner attachment, I'm going to do that, but I would have the vacuum on. It's going to suck this out as you brush it out, and then you can kind of hold this in there and it'll suck the junk off of your brush, and you can keep on cleaning. But you just want to make sure that you get in all these little crevices here and you get out everything that you possibly can. If you have some thread that's really hung up in your thread trimmers and you can't get that out, use a pair of tweezers. I have these that are made for my serger, and you can easily get in there and kind of pull out, you know, little pieces of thread that have been trimmed off. And after you've used your little brushes, you're going to want to check at the end to make sure none of the loose bristles came off. Make sure that you're looking up under this area too, because sometimes little pieces of thread can get hung in there and you want to make sure that you get those out. So really be thorough when you're cleaning this out. I've heard some people say, well, why don't you just use some canned air for this? And the reason behind that is because if you look in there and there's a lot of junk in there and you use canned air to blow that out, where is that stuff going to go? It's going to travel further up this area, and it's going to get into the gears and the cogs where the grease and the oil is. And you definitely don't want that, because if all of these little bits of yuck get stuck in greased areas, you're going to wind up having to take your machine in for service. That's why I say you need to vacuum this off first. And if you see some lint and stuff that you can't get off and you want to use a little bit of canned air, point it away from down the tube and get it off that way. But don't ever shoot canned air up here to try to clean this off, because it's going to wedge it back in here and get it stuck. You're going to need to put your throat plate back on. It's this little guy. Just set him back on there, put your screws back in, and tighten those up. After your machine is all clean, you're going to need to oil your race, and you're supposed to do this every day, and I hope that you've been doing that. That's very important to reduce friction on your machine, and I hope you've been reading in your manual and you already know this, but just in case you don't, I'm going to tell you how. You're going to reach back here and you're going to turn the hand wheel until this rotates around a little bit. And you're going to take a little bit of oil and you're going to put it right in here. Just a couple of drops will do you. And then when your machine starts again, it will reset that and it'll put the hand wheel back in the correct place. If you have a removable bobbin case like this one, you're going to need to clean that one out too. And I take my little brush and I just go around in there and I get out all of the lint and the yuck that's gotten caught in here. I also take a piece of unwaxed dental floss and I go ahead and thread through where you do your tension, through there, and then pull that through and make sure that I'm getting out anything that's caught in there. It's amazing what a little bit of dust in that area can do. And sometimes you get a little piece of something in there and you don't even realize it and your machine's not stitching correctly. But that's a great way to get that out.